Okay, where's everybody at? Oh, there's Lisa. Did we lose Mariana? I don't know. I don't see Mariana on here yet. Oh, there she is. Okay. Okay. So wait for everybody to get here. I think that's just us. Okay, so I'm going to present about the Mommy Latch breastfeeding class. So I need to find where that's at. Okay. This thing is. So I'm just going to share something for the actual workbook. So I made it. The Mommy Latch is going to be on a PDF or PDF/PowerPoint. This is what our Word document. So this is my Word document. So I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit about what the class is about, and this way I can have a video I could share on YouTube and other places, because I've had a lot of inquiries about it. But I'm sure people are just like, what is Mommy Latch? What does that mean? Okay, so I made up this word, Mommy Latch, Breastfeeding Educator Counselor course. I just wanted to rename the course I had. I had another breastfeeding class called Boob Educator, but I felt like it didn't have enough information in it. I had some people that are kind of a little disappointed in the class. So I thought, I need to put more beef in it, more information. So this class has probably quadrupled the information the other course had. So this is going to have a lot more information about breastfeeding, and it's going to help you educate people and be like a pure lactation counselor. And the reason we cannot use the terms CLC is it's trademarked. I don't know how many people know what a trademark is, so that means I can't use that name. I can't call myself you won't be able to call yourself a CLC because that's a trademarked term. So, anyway, just so y'all know, this is why I had to make up my own name. But it's not an IBCLC course either. So an IBCLC course is for like someone who's a nurse or wanting to do more deep education, and it's an international class. So the international class has got their own requirements, and you also have to think. Do you know how many hours you have to train for that, for Lisa? It's like 1,000 hours or 500 hours. There's like 3 different pathways.
I think it's 500. Yeah, 1,000. I think those high numbers are accurate.
I'm like, no one in hell. Do I have time to do 500 hours of volunteer work? Sorry, I just don't have that kind of time. Okay. So that's one reason I decided I'm not going to be an IBCLC. I took some IBCLC classes, so I have some of that background. But I decided I didn't want to finish it. I was just like, I don't have time to do 500 hours of volunteer. I live in a rural community. There's no way I'd even find that many people to work with. So instead, I thought, you know what? I decided to just train through a different organization and just get some kind of certification. And then I wanted to pass on some knowledge to other people. So I decided to make my own course. So this is my class. So this is kind of like the outline. So getting started, introduction to breastfeeding, and then we have like a cultural study in the first chapter. And then types of breastfeeding support, and then 10 steps of breastfeeding. And then module 3, we go over breastfeeding reflexes, tools, and anatomy. So there's going to be some anatomy in here. And yes, it's going to get, very technical in it. So not for young audiences, but, probably teenagers that are more mature enough could take the class. Module 4 is A for attachment, evaluating sucking. So we're kind of using that word latch to mean different things. Like L is for love, A is for attachment, like T is for traditions, C is for holicky and calm, and H is for health and holistic, basically. So those are my acronym for the class. Anyway, so these are I'm just going to go over like what the chapters consist of. So A is for attachment. So we're going to evaluate like how to help the mothers latch on better, how to evaluate the sucking of the child's breastfeeding and things like that. So it's really going to get real technical on like, just more examples of things like that. And then T is for traditions and cultures of breastfeeding, traditional foods. So we're going to go over like foods, like a genesis of science of breastfeeding a little bit in there. Nipple soreness and other breast issues, plus hormones and depressions. We're going to go over that. Baby issues of breastfeeding, so colicky and trying to keep the baby calm. Is it in your mind? So we got to go over like what other health issues might be. So we're going to go a little bit more over postpartum depression. DMER is a type of issue that comes with a mother when she's kind of she gets let down and then she gets real crying and sad. So it's not exactly depression, but it's almost like you almost feel like you're depressed. So it's a little different terminology for that. So I'm thinking maybe I had that now. I had my daughter, I had a hard time with breastfeeding her, and maybe that was one of the issues. I don't know. I'm just diagnosing myself, so I have no idea. You would have to go to a doctor to actually get an official diagnosis, but there's, some key points on how to tell that, what the difference between that as a postpartum depression. But DMER is more with the letdown thing, when you're letting down and you're getting sad, exactly when that's happening. Breastfeeding educator, so we talk a lot more about like how to teach and educate. Working mothers, breastfeeding and pumping milk, so we talk about like pumps and breastfeeding and things like that. Working with special needs infants and the SNS supplemental system. And then mother-led weaning or baby-led weaning. And then there's certification requirements and final projects. So this is the main module, but there are going to be some other books that we go over too. So the books will have their own little separate, let's see if I can find an example. I'm going to open. The books are going to have their own little question and answer kind of thing with it. Let's see, they're going to have a study guide. So boost your breast milk. So this is one of the books you'll be reading. So you'll have a boost your breast milk study guide. And so you'll answer all the questions on the study guide. So we'll expect you to read the book and then answer the questions from the study guide. And it'll be like, I think there's like 3 or 4 books. I have boost your breast milk one. Let's see what I have so far, but this is a course in progress. That's why it's a pilot program. So I had the boost your breast milk, and I believe I did making your milk more milk guide. Okay, and I'm still working on the one for mother food. There's another book called Mother Food. It's a green book. Let me see if I can find some of my books. I have some of them here. The books, yay! I found my books. Okay. Yeah, I found my books. They're right here. Yay. So I got my books. Okay, so my books I'm using are this is Mother Food. And it's got a lot of natural, holistic remedies and things like that in it. So we're gonna be reading that one. We're gonna be reading Boost Your Breast Milk, which I use this book for my postpartum doula course. So if anybody's like taking my postpartum doula course, you already have part of your class done already. Basically, all you have to do is go through the making mother milk guide and just answer the questions then. So you'll be like ahead of the class if you take my postpartum doula class. And then making more milk, I use the older version of this book. There may be a newer version. I'd probably prefer you to use the older version just because that's what I'm using. But you can, if you find the newer version, it may have more pages or different page numbers. So just make a note of that. And then we are considering an herb lactation like mini class with the course. So I'm still adding that in, but since this is going to be like a few months course, it'll be ready at the end of the class. Okay, I will guarantee you'll have herbs and breastfeeding in it. We're gonna kind of just start with the main manual and then just go through things kind of slowly, and then at the end we'll have the lactation and herb ready. So this is an extra book for that. This is called the Mother's Garden, and it's Mother's Garden of Galactagus. Do you know how to pronounce that, Lisa?
Not at all. Don't ever ask me about pronunciation. I never. I was saying there, like, did I say gestational right? Like, I think I did.
That's the word. Okay, but it just means lactation. Okay, so Mother's Garden lactation. That's what I call it. Okay. I'm not very good at Latin words like this anyway. So this book and the the mother's garden are going to be kind of the part of the lactation or the herbal force part of it. And my goal is to we're going to meet monthly for a while. We're going to meet I'm thinking 7 or 8 months or something. Yeah, it's going to be where we meet monthly. I don't know, probably 6 months. I'm thinking something like that. Where I'm not going to make it too long, but we're going to meet 6 months, once a month on Zoom. Once I have 3 students, okay, we got to have I want to have at least 3 students that we're doing the class together. So we're going to meet once a month on Zoom, and we're just going to kind of talk through any questions you have about the class, just discuss the course materials, and then the rest is kind of self-paced on your own. But then we're going to have one weekend, we're going to learn how to do some skills. So it'll be counseling skills, where we've kind of practiced on each other, how to counsel a mother on breastfeeding. And we're also going to have teaching you how to make some herbs skills. And that may be just some videos I show or something, because I don't really have a kitchen that I can show you in my kitchen, but we'll do some kind of where I present some videos, and then you can kind of ask me questions on how to make things. So that would be that's how I plan to do it for right now. Maybe in the future I could actually make it myself, but right now I don't have the actual area to do it in right now. So it's the mom life, okay, the homeschool mom life. But anyway, that's kind of how I'm going to do it right now, and at least you'll have someone showing you how to make things. So anyway, so that's my idea. I will probably make something while we're doing it. I'll have to show you what I made. It'll be just I'll show you what I made, but it won't be on camera how I'm making it, unless I get someone to videotape it. That's always a possibility. It's just hard to do it when on Zoom. It has to be pre-recorded or something. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have time to do one pre-recording, because I've done the infusion. I could probably do again. That one's easy enough to do on a separate video, and I could just present it to the class or something. But anything complicated, I would just have to just show you some other videos. But anyway, so that's kind of how we're going to do the class. And it's not going to cost $1,000, which is what I want to charge at some point, because I think this class is worth that much, because it's going to be, it's going to be comparable to a CLC. But right now, I'm going to charge $450 for the class, and you're going to get access to me during those few months that we're working together. And like I said, probably 6 to 7 months-ish. I don't want to make it too long. I want to be able to have people finish within a certain amount of time, where you're going to have all the work done. I think that'll give you plenty of time to do the work. And we do expect you to do one book, let's say this breastfeeding making mother milk thing, for instance, that will be required to do within a certain time frame, 1 month or something. The bigger manual, I'll give you 2 months to do, because I think it needs more than 1 month to do that manual. It's going to be a lot of questions, quizzes, and so I'm probably going to give you a little longer to do the manual. I'm not going to expect you all to do that in a month. I might give you 3 months to do it, but I just want to make sure that we're on page with that, and we'll probably meet up and talk about the manual at least two or three meetings, just the manual itself. So that way you have time to ask me questions. We'll go over maybe the third of the manual we could talk about the first time, the second half, whatever. We'll break it up into sessions. So I'm thinking probably 3 months on the main manual, and then each of these other things one month each, and then have the skills thing at the end. So something like that. Or we'll just plan the skills whenever it works best for us. And we'll have a Christmas break, so you're not going to worry about doing anything in December. Okay, so December's off probably. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And I'd like to start in August or September. I mean, you can sign up now though, because I want anybody to sign up. They can sign up now and just start getting the books and studying on their own. So that's also a possibility. But we're going to start meeting either late August or September or something like that. So that's my plan for the Mommy Latch class. So what makes us different than the other classes? Maybe I'll answer that question. My class is going to be family-centered, mother-centered. We're not going to use the words chest feeding. I don't believe in using that word. Okay. It's just not for me. That's not my belief in using that. The mother makes milk. I ran into a lot of people that just don't like using those terminology. And I'm not going to cater to those kind of people. Okay, I'm sorry. If you want to do that, go take a different class. This class is not for you. Okay, I'm just going to be honest up front. So we're going to use family terms, mother, father, mommy, breastfeeding, just anything like that. There's not anything really religious in this. Okay, so anybody could take the class. You could be Christian, non-Catholic, whatever. I just host it on my website because I get the most hits on Catholic doula. That's the only reason it's up there. I do have a mommylatch.com, but it's just a smaller site, and I just get more people come through my website. So I just thought I'm just going to keep it hosted on Catholic Doula, but this is a non-denominational program. It's for anybody who wants to take it. You don't have to be a particular religion. I don't really have any, I might mention God or something in there, but I don't really mention any Christian stuff. It's not really based on that. It's just based on real science, real breastfeeding. So anyway, that's the main information, and I just hope people will come and learn with me and be a Mommy Latch educator. And let's see, hold on, let me see if I can find a share that shows like what you could call yourself. I think I have this somewhere in here. Let's see if I can see it. Okay, I guess I could go a little bit more over, like we're gonna have a classroom. I was thinking about using Thinkific, but I might use Google. It just depends on how many people prefer a certain area. We'll wait on where the classroom is going to be at right now. And assignments can be emailed to Mommy Latch or Proton or Ave Maria Doula. There'll be module projects. Discussions will be like 25 points. Case studies 100. Quizzes like 75 to pass. If you're ADHD or something like that, then I do a little bit less on the points on quizzes or something. Certification, we'll have like required hours, about 20 to 30 hours working with a breastfeeding mother, which I think is very doable. It's not going to be like 500 hours. Okay. I think you can log hours down, you could just log in the skills. We'll like have a skills list kind of thing too. So you can kind of check off skills that you want to do. Let's see what else. I was trying to figure out. Basically, you're going to be able to call yourself a Mommy Latch breastfeeding counselor, a Mommy Latch breastfeeding educator, and a Mommy Latch lacta herbalist. Kind of. Those are the three terms you'll be able to use when you're done. So, and this is kind of what the first module looks like. And I have a lot of resources at the end of the module, so you'll see where all my quotes are coming from. They're just a lot of them are from books that aren't really, I don't think they're in print as much anymore. They're from some modules of breastfeeding science or something. I forgot now. Some of the quotes are from this process of breastfeeding. I think that's one of them. It's by Rebecca Black and Jarman and Simpson. It's an older book that it's got some really good information in it, but I don't know. I didn't want to make everybody have to buy the book, so I decided just to quote from some of the books. I decided, as long as I'm quoting and I'm giving somebody else the reference, then I figure it's legal and fine for me to use a book. So that's what I'm doing. So I usually support of breastfeeding from them and the process of breastfeeding. Those are the two books I'm using from them. So anyway. Maybe I could see where I have the certification requirements. I don't remember. There's a lot of modules in here, so it's kind of hard to. Well, if you want the certification requirements, I'll just put them on I'm going to put them on the website. I'm going to make more information on the Catholic Doula website. So, I think I found it. Okay. Well, that's the final project. So there's final project. Okay, here's certification assignment. So follow the guidelines. And chapter 9, making your own curriculum in one class for breastfeeding. So, and we talk about making your own curriculum. So you're going to make your own curriculum up. You're going to make like a resource list for breastfeeding mothers. So that's just kind of like, well, if you take a doula class, you would have a resource list. Make a definition term list. So it like breastfeeding definitions, at least 30. Finish assignments, case studies, quizzes. Now I didn't put every quiz inside of here, but I think I might just do, instead of a quiz for everything, I might just do an assignment. So just if you get to a point where it says there's not a quiz available, just let me know. I'll either make another quiz up for that chapter, or we'll do something else. But you know, I kind of like to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes people get tired of quizzes and some people get tired of assignments. So you can always tell me, you want a quiz or an assignment? I mean, I'll just do one or the other. We're gonna have the book reviews of the different books. I'm not sure I'm using the Counseling the Nursing Mother. I had that on here, but I'm not really sure I'm going to use that book anymore, because it's such a deep book that I think I'm probably going to use the Pocket Guide to Breastfeeding instead. But anyway, this book is kind of in question of what we're going to do right now. I was like, the Counseling and Nursing Mother, it's a good resource book if you want to get it just to read it, and that would be fine with me because I have an older edition. The Pocket Guide to Breastfeeding, I have a second edition, and it's cheap. You can get it for like $10 or something on eBay. So I like the Pocket Guide because it's got more like a checklist kind of thing for skills and stuff. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards that book better. So that's probably the book we're going to be using for, like, just so you could check off skills, basically. That's the main reason. You don't really necessarily have to read all of it. But the main other books were what I mentioned already: the Mother Food, the Mother's Garden, Boost Your Breast Milk, and the Making More Milk. Those are the main books that we're going to be going through. And the good thing about this class is you don't have to have all the books at one time. So you know, like, you're concerned about, like, I had to pay $450 and I had to buy books, but you don't have to buy all the books right now. Okay. So you could just buy like one book at a time when we're ready to go over that book. So that way it kind of helps your budget a little bit better. And and I will do a payment plan, but all the payment plan has to be done like at the first of the classes. You know, like, you start paying me each month until it's paid off, basically. And let's see. Work with a mother with breastfeeding. I kind of already mentioned that. Finish the guides for the other books, and then, you know, you'll get some CEUs from me. It's just my CEUs. I might do is apply for IBCLC CEUs, but it'll probably be in retrospective of afterwards. So if you want some IBCLC CEUs and you're just gung-ho about that, let me know and I'll apply for them, but you have to add an extra fee for that, okay? That's just it's a small fee, but it'll help cover my expenses because I had to pay for the CEUs for somebody. So if you're interested in that, it's just an extra fee of $25 per person, and I'm hoping I'll have at least 2 people, and that'll just help me cover that 3 CEUs if you really want them. But we're going to do it kind of like afterwards. IBCLC lets me do it after. So if you want them, we'll apply for them during the class sometime, and we'll see if we can get those for you. I don't think it'll be any problem. I'm just not allowed to advertise outside like this webinar kind of thing. I'm not really supposed to say how many CEUs you really get, but it'll probably be 3. Okay. They're kind of picky about how you advertise things. I'm thinking, well, this is not really an advertisement. This is a webinar, so I think I could tell you how many you're going to get. But you know, when I'm doing my advertising, I just have to say you get continuing education units from IBCLC as long as you pay the extra, you know, donation for that, basically. The final project, we'll just have some ideas here. You can do like a nutrition and breastfeeding webinar for mothers. You could do a food diary with a mother, but it has to be really extensive. I'm not going to just take a simple food diary. It's going to have to be like how to help her improve her eating, for instance. There's some links on breastfeeding. You could show a video to a mother and get a reaction on watching some videos, for instance, things like that. So maybe that could be something you could do. You could choose a specific topic like breastfeeding with special needs, research the topic, write an essay on it, or maybe make a curriculum plan for a mother on that topic, whatever you want to do. It's just something you want to do. Educators, you can make a second class outline, give a second class on breastfeeding for your final project, because we do require one project already like that. Make a project using the acronym LATCH, and kind of make up something that would go with that idea. Start to support a group for breastfeeding mothers, so you can meet one time and get an evaluation statement from the group. Make a breastfeeding website that is informative for breastfeeding mothers, and include your resource list if so desired in it. So that could be something. So anyway, we're just wanting you to choose at least one major project. You could do a couple if you wanted to, but and the project will count towards some of your hours. So if you're like, I don't have 10 hours of something, well then just work on your project, and that'll probably be 10 hours. And then your other hours, you could be working with a mother. So I'm easy. I let you take hours from the project and use it for your stuff. So anyway, I'm hoping y'all will, ask me questions about it if you want. If any other questions about how to, whatever your questions are, let me know. And hopefully we'll get this started by August or September, and have a class going. So, got any ideas? Any questions, anybody?
I do have a question. What would be some good starter books to read for educating yourself on being a doula and stuff, like food or stuff like that?
Okay. Well, the mother food's a good one, I think, even for doulas. So you might want to go ahead and read that one. What else? You're thinking more food related kind of doula stuff?
I remember you had said something about the first 40 days being a good
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's a postpartum doula book. That one we used for the postpartum doula class at Catholic Doula. So yeah, that was a good one.
And who was it by? Who wrote it?
Hengou. Hengou.
Could you repeat that? Sorry, cut off.
Heng is her first name. You may type in the chat. Let me do that. Where's the chat at? Oh, there it is. I'll type it in the chat. It'll be easier to understand there.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, that works.
You're welcome.
Lily Nichols has good books as well.
Oh yeah, Lily. Yeah, the Real Food for Pregnancy. I have a nutritional doula course.
Lily, who was it?
Lily Nichols. I'll write her name as well in the chat for you.
I just did. I beat you to it. Yeah, I have a nutritional doula course based on her book. Her book's Real Food for Pregnancy. Yeah, I also do a nutritional doula course. So yeah. Oh, somebody just joined us. Well, we'll let the other person come in and see if they have any questions. I think we probably got. Hello, Lynn. How are you doing? We're kind of at the end of this presentation, but if you have any questions, let me know. I could go over a little bit more about the breastfeeding course, because we just kind of ending here. But the breastfeeding course is a Mommy Latch breastfeeding educator counselor course, and we were just going over what the certification requirements are for that class. So the class is going to be in this big manual, like a long Word document that I made up, but it'll also be a PDF. I'm going to turn it into a PDF. So we're going to go over cultural stuff, feeding the babies, just a lot of topics. So at the front here is I'll go show the table of contents. So there's 13 chapters that we go over. And we're also going to have some books that we review and go through as well. So those books will be one at a time. So we don't have to worry about you don't have to have all your books at one time for this class. We're going to have a 6 to 7 month program where we meet once a month and we just discuss things for that time frame. And so anyway, we were just going over do you have any questions about the class? So if you have any questions, let me know. We were just wrapping up the class. I'm sorry. I guess some people don't know what I'm in Central Time Zone. So anyway. So the final project, we were just talking about like what we could do for our final project. You could do nutrition and breastfeeding webinar for mothers. You could do like a food diary. You could do educator things. There will be one class outline, etc. required, but you could do like a second one, for instance. You can make a project on our acronym Latch. Our acronym Latch means loving, like loving the baby. A for attachment, T for traditions, C for calming the baby, and H for holistic and, you know, like healthy stuff for the family and the mother. And then educator ideas. You could also do like a breastfeeding moms group for the final project, making a breastfeeding website and things like that. And we only require 20 to 30 hours working with a mother, but you can also count the community project as part of your, or your final project as your part of your hours. So if you need 10 more hours, then you could use 10 hours just working on your project. So anyway, so we were going to conclude. If you have any questions or anything else, you can always email me at catholicdoulaprogram@gmail.com. And it's nice to have y'all here, and thank you. And I'll send the recording to, if you, Lynn, I don't know if I have your email. So if you email me at Catholic Doula Program, I'll write it in here.
Another
Yeah,
way for
I
the
have
hours.
it. I have it, Julia. Thank you. I don't know. I thought it was starting.
Oh, okay.
This is the second link, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, I'll listen to the recording. That'd be great. I just got
Okay.
on, so that's
Yeah. Let me know your
okay.
email. I just don't know your email. Is this
Okay.
Lynn?
It's lmishki@gmail.
Oh,
And
okay.
we communicated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is Lynn from our doula class.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Lynn
okay.
Mishki. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I was like, okay.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Thanks, Julia. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, that's fine. I just needed to know who it was because I wasn't sure if it was a new person or somebody I knew already. Okay, that's great. Okay. Yeah, I continue the recording. I was like, anybody who wants the recording, let me know and I'll do that. Okay, yeah. Well, I am glad to have y'all come today, and we'll just we'll conclude now. And if you have any questions, the class again costs $450 for the pilot program. Okay, it's a good deal, and you know, we're going to be spending a lot of time together. So, you know, I think it's worth the money. And then we also, if you want CEUs, it costs a little bit more for the IBCLC CEU donation for that. Other than that, I just wanted y'all to have the best education in breastfeeding. And I'm really excited about this program. So I'm hoping we'll get it started this fall so we can just, you know, study together and learn from each other. So I'm going to stop now, and hopefully y'all will, you know, come to the class, and we'll see y'all later. Okay.